Astonishing ways your parental interference destroy the marriage of your children. Hi friends, welcome to Marriage Realities, a comprehensive relationship channel. Today's video is all about the ways parents unthinkingly destroy the marriage of their children through the needless intrusion. Are you also one such parent who feel you have all the right to intervene into the relationship issues of your children? You're making a great mistake. It cannot be denied that you love your children and virtually live for them. You proudly watch your children evolving as confident and assertive individuals. You crown yourself as a good parent when they're successful in their career. You're very emotional on the wedding day of your children. You wipe your tears of joy when you see your children marrying their love. But your whole attitude undergoes massive changes after your children settle into the married life. There are many parents who understand the limits and do not dream of intruding into the personal life of their children. On the flip side, there are some parents who feel that they have every right to intrude into every nook and corner of the relationship of their children. When parents interfere into the married life of their children, it brings tons of needless relationship issues between couples. It is true, as a parent, you only have the well-being of your children in your mind. You do not want them to suffer at any cost. But the fights your son or daughter has with his or her spouse is nothing short of a domestic violence to you. You always feel that your daughter or son could do nothing wrong and that every wrong is done by your son-in-law or daughter-in-law. Are you showing intense love for your children when you intrude into their married life? No, you certainly are not. When you interfere into the relationship issues of your children, it just means you do not know your limits. You should never commit this parental blunder. You should understand that your children are mature enough to deal with their own relationship problems. My advocate friend told me a surprising news. Do you know that parents are also a main reason for the spurt of divorce among couples? I was taken aback when she conveyed this news to me. How can parents in any way be the reason behind the increasing cases of divorce? Parents always want the children to live a happy married life, don't they? I defended the angle of parents. You're not properly understanding what I'm implying, my advocate friend continued. Nowadays, parents have become as selfish as their children. There are many cases where parents do not let go their hold over their children. Many parents feel that the earnings of the children belong to them, as it is they who educated the kids and made them successful. There are also parents who feel that they should be given more importance than their son-in-law or daughter-in-law. My advocate friend continued reading facts about parental intrusions, which took me by complete surprise. If you too are committing such parental mistakes, you'll only ruin the marriage of your children. As a parent, you're often prejudiced and one-sided towards your children. So you give wrong advice to your children against the partner. You exaggerate the minor mistakes of your son-in-law or daughter-in-law. You commit all these blunders without really understanding that you're exceeding your limits. When you're selfish and self-centered, you hold on to your children and do not let them live their lives. You do not realize that if your children get carried away with the wrong advice given by you, they may separate from their spouse. You should understand that after the marriage of your children, you have no right to intrude into their married life. It is because you become a third person in the married life of your children. You should give your children advice only when they come to you for it. Even when giving your advice, it should not penetrate into the inner ring of the married life of your children. Your advice should just give a clue to your children about the relationship mistakes. Your advice also should not be too personal and too intruding. It is true that without you, your children cannot be what they are now. It is also true that your children owe their success to you. But this does not in any way give you a leverage to barge into the personal life of your children. The relationship issues your children are facing in their married life is too personal and concerns only them. You just do not have a place in it. If you dictate terms and conditions in the relationship issues of your children, you will be creating needless misunderstandings between them. Your children will eventually blame you if your advice destroys the marriage. You also never really know what is happening in the married life of your children. You only understand the relationship issues of your children from your angle. So, you will always side with your children even though they may be in the wrong. This could prove dangerous to the relationship. Why do you commit such parental mistakes even though you well know that it is creating havoc in the married life of your children? It is because you feel insecure that your children might forget you in the intense love for their partner. You do not want to lose your children at any cost, and so you do all sorts of mistakes to hold on to them. You often overstay the hospitality of your children. You intrude into the personal interaction your children is having with their partner. You often make your children feel guilty that they do not care enough for you. You do not commit these mistakes with the intention of ruining the marriage of your children. You commit these mistakes out of your total ignorance about your limits. Unless you understand that the life situation of your children has changed and that your priority in their life has moved down, you will continue intruding into the relationship. You must understand that your children have their own family to look after. So you must distance yourself from them. The relationship issues your children are undergoing is best solved between them. You can do nothing about it. When your children sort out the relationship problems between themselves, it will literally save their marriage. On the other hand, when you barge to argue on behalf of your children, it will do more damage than good. So stay away from your children after the marriage. You should always practice emotional detachment from your children so that you do not feel like clinging on to them. Do not ever overstay the hospitality of your children. Do not demand more money than your children can give you. Step aside to allow your children to resolve the relationship issues on their own. Understand the simple fact that your children will always love you. So let your children lead their own life. Always be neutral. Do not ever act prejudiced against your son-in-law or daughter-in-law. When you follow these powerful tips, you'll always be cherished by your children. Did this video make you understand why you should not intrude into the relationship issues of your children? Marriage Realities will have many such relationship eye-openers. Subscribe to my channel to understand your marriage in a new light. Press the bell icon for updates about my latest relationship videos. Make love forever until death do us part, your relationship goal.